Hey you guys, welcome back to Kay the PA. My name is Kay and today I'm going to be telling you guys about how I got my job as a patient care tech. Now this is a highly requested video. A few of you guys asked me to talk about this topic and also interview tips for those that are going on interviews for their tech job or their CNA job. So I decided I'm just going to make part one and part two, and part three. And I'm just going to discuss different topics. So today I'm going to discuss how I got my patient care job. I'll give you the full backstory on that. And then I'm going to also post a video on interview tips because I know one of you guys have an interview on Friday. So I want to make sure that I make this video. And maybe there's some things that I'm going to discuss today that can help you on your interview. So I'm going to post 2 videos today. And the third video, I'm going to talk about different settings you can work as a CNA. And I'm going to post that one next week. All right, so stay tuned, guys, for this very exciting video. Before I get started, I want to show off my shirt. You can't really see it, but it says, "I know you called 911 to see me." It's one of my signature shirts for my MotivaTeeLine. So if you want this shirt, I'm going to put the link below and you can go get yours. And I have tons more shirts for like EMTs, nurses, PAs, doctors. So, go check me out. Check out my stuff. But yeah, so let's get started. Now for the backstory on how I became a patient care tech. Alright guys, so I'm going to take you all the way back to when I first became an EMT. That was I think September 2013. And I was excited about it, and I applied to hospital jobs and ambulance jobs because I really wanted to get out of the job I was working at. I worked at a clothing store and I was just miserable and I wasn't getting paid that much money and I just wanted to leave. And I really wanted to do something in my field. When you graduate from college and you're still working at a clothing store, that's not the best feeling ever. So I'm like, okay, I need to do something that proves that, I've accomplished something academically. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully I find a job at either the hospital or an ambulance company. And eventually I did get the ambulance company of my dreams that I wanted to work for. And I worked there for about a year until I started applying for, I started applying for jobs 7 months within my time working there. I started applying within 7 months, but hospitals usually do not hire EMTs if you don't have at least 1 year of experience. And in general, hospital likes to hire people with experience, CNA or EMT. But as I do know some CNAs at my job that had no experience and they got the job, but that's usually because they knew someone that worked there. So, 7 months in, I applied for hospital jobs. I didn't get it. And when it hit that 1 year mark, so around September, October-ish, I got an interview. And it was at this one hospital. And to be honest with you, I was excited about getting the interview at a hospital, but I really didn't want to work at that place in particular because it just the vibe didn't feel right. Something felt off. And as an EMT, you visit different hospitals, and I just couldn't see myself working in that ER. So I actually did the interview and it didn't go great. It wasn't an amazing interview. And I actually went on a cruise during that time, and part of me wanted the job, but then I kept saying, I don't think I want this job. I don't think it's for me. So even though I wanted it, I was kind of praying that I got something else. And, you know, I mean, it's the law of attraction. I didn't actually get the job. So I think the interviewer probably felt a vibe and I felt a vibe and it was just off. So, you know, she didn't hire me, but that was okay. I wasn't like too broken up over it. I just wanted a hospital job. So during this time, I just kept applying, like within, like I would say from August to like December, I just kept applying for jobs. Like every single week, I was applying for jobs because I wanted to try something new. And I think like as an EMT, you get burnt out with a job like fairly quickly, and I kind of felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. Even though I did love that company, you know, I really just wanted to try something new and gain more experience. So, and that was like around the time when I got into that accident when I was working for the ambulance company. So I was like, okay, I need to get up out of here. Um, I just kept applying like every week. Like that's why I always tell people when you're applying to jobs at the hospital, don't give up when they don't call you. Like you really just have to apply consistently. So every week I was applying to jobs. I knew what company or which organization I wanted to work for. So I only applied for hospitals within that organization. Like it's a corporation, and I think there's like 9 hospitals. So I only applied to hospitals within that company because it had a good reputation. And as an EMT, I got a chance to see different hospitals and, you know, where I would want to work. And so I made my decision on where to apply based on that. And I remember going to this one this one hospital. It was like fairly new. It was like 5 years old at the time. And when I went there, the ER was like really nice. And I'm like, wow, I could really see myself working here. And, you know, I've been there a couple of times, and I asked one of the techs, like, you know, are you guys hiring and how do I get a job in the ER? And they told me to just like apply online and just keep applying. So I followed their advice and I applied to so many different positions at that hospital, and I just kept applying until I think I applied for like, how long did I apply? I applied for like a couple of months, probably like 2 months. And they called me on December 25th, 2014. I actually looked through my emails to get all these dates, but they called me on December 25th and they told me that they wanted to interview me. So I was really excited about it. Like that hospital was like my dream hospital. Just like I had a dream ambulance company, I had like a dream hospital I wanted to work at, and that one was my dream hospital. So I was, you know, happy about it. And then so I had my interview. I was kind of nervous, but I felt more prepared because I had another hospital interview, you know, at the job I didn't really want, and that kind of prepared me for this one. So when I went for the interview, I made sure I was on time. So I got there early and I waited in my car. I think I got there like 30 minutes early. I waited in my car and then I went inside probably 10 minutes before the interview. Because, I mean, knowing my luck, I'll show up extremely early and then end up being late. So I'm like, you know what, let me just go in. And I just noticed how shiny the floors were. And I'm just like, man, this is a nice hospital. And I could really see myself working there. So I was just like praying that I got the job. And coincidentally, I saw the girl that she transferred to the ER, and I was actually getting her position or interviewing for her position on the flow team. And, you know, I asked her like where the office was and everything. And then she told me the manager was really nice. And she told me that, you know, I shouldn't worry about anything. So that was like a really cool moment. And then, so I got there. It was like a boardroom that I was interviewing in. And then, you know, the manager, like my manager, She was just like extremely nice, and she wasn't like trying to intimidate me or anything. She was just very personable. And I remember she has like high energy, like she's just an energetic person. And that made me feel like a little bit more relaxed, and that I could like just be myself. And we started the interview, and it went really well. I think the other interview like prepared me for this one really well. And she asked me like different questions. I actually wrote them down, what she asked me. Okay, so she asked like the typical interview questions: what's your strengths, what are your weaknesses? And I told her my weakness was that I needed to improve my turnaround time at my current EMT job. So initially my turnaround time was like 20 minutes, and I improved it where now it's like 15 minutes. So something like that. I don't know how I remember all this. But and if you don't know what a turnaround time is, it's basically the time it takes you to like get to the hospital, drop the patient off, and go back in service to like get another 911 call. So I told her that I needed to improve. I did improve that. And she asked me like, how would my employer describe me? And I really don't like answering questions like that, like describe yourself, tell me, how this person would describe you. But I think I answered that like I was hardworking, patient, and that I enjoyed patient care, something like that. And then I remember she like explained the role of a patient care tech, because I've never been in that setting before. I've never worked as a tech. So she basically like told me what I would be doing: bathing the patients, turning them, the typical stuff that you would learn in like CNA school. She basically told me those are the things I'll be doing. And she explained that the job is not easy. She said it's a hard job, it takes a lot of hard work. And she was right. And she basically told me that she hated laziness and she doesn't micromanage. So as long as you do your job, you're like good with her. And I was happy to hear her say that. I'm like, okay, me and her are like on the same page, because I hate when someone micromanages me, because I feel like I'm a hard worker. So when someone micromanages me, I feel like they don't trust me to like do the job. So, I was like, okay, I like her. And she described the job duties, and then she asked me, is this something that I could see myself doing? And of course I'm going to say yes. In the back of my mind though, I was kind of nervous, because I'm like, I don't think I want to clean people. Because as an EMT, you get used to like picking them up and just like dropping them off for the techs and the nurses to deal with, and the doctors. But now I'll be on the other side of things, and I wasn't really thrilled about doing that. But I really just wanted to try something new. And in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping to get that ER position. But she was really nice, and it was like a great interview. I was like comfortable, and I just got a really good vibe. So I was like, okay, I may just like give this a shot. So the interview went well, and then I think about 3 or 4 days later, I got a call, and she told me I got the job. And initially, I was gonna ask if I could interview in the ER, because they actually told me via email that they were reviewing me for the ER position also. And I didn't really want to mess up that position, and they were about to hire me, so I'm like, okay, like I don't want to say, well, I really want the ER, and then they're like, okay, we're just done with her. So I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna stress it. I'm just gonna try this flow team situation and see how it goes. So they went over like the pay and everything, and I was gonna be paid like $3 more, $3, I think $3.50 more per hour. So I was happy about that. And then also, like, if you count the night differential, it's like 550 more per hour. So I was really excited about that, and I decided that I'm not gonna completely quit my EMT job and work full time. I decided that I'm gonna work full time at the hospital and do PRN at my EMT job. So that's what I did, and I did that for about 2 months, like 2 jobs. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, this isn't working. So I decided to quit my EMT job. I mean, I didn't want to let it go initially, but I feel like when it's time, it's time. And, then I started working as a float tech full time ever since then. It's been almost like 4 years. I got a call for the interview on December 25th. No, I got an email, not a call. I got an email for the interview on December 25th, and I got hired on February 16th, and I started on March 2nd, because I still had to give my 2 weeks notice, so I couldn't start right away. I could have started like in February, but I feel like it looks really bad if I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not going to give a 2 weeks notice and I'm going to just start right away. I don't think that's fair. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait and start the next month. But I was like super excited, and I'm glad I didn't stress working in the ER, because now I'm like thankful, because I feel like I learned so much more as a flow tech, and I have so much more flexibility, and I get to know, I get a chance to know everyone in the hospital, which is the benefit of being like a flow tech, and I get a chance to know what you do on each floor. And it's been good ever since. It's been like almost 4 years, and I feel like I've really learned a lot. I had a really great manager who I've learned a lot from her, and she really believed in me, and I was actually like the only EMT she hired. You don't really find a lot of EMTs working on the floor. I think I only knew one other EMT that worked on the floor. You'll find a lot more EMTs in the ER. But, that was it. That's how I got my job as a patient care tech. I think it's a great position. It's a great, like, starting point. If you want to get into nursing or PA school, medical school, it's really, like, great experience. I feel like I'm exposed to so much. And you have like so many resources around you. You have doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, radiology. Like, there's so much around you for you to learn from. So I really like appreciate the job, and hopefully I can move on soon from this and do something else. But so far, I would say that it's been like a position that I really appreciate. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned, because I will be making a part 2, telling you about like different like interview questions you should like study. Well, I don't know, study, prepare for, or whatever, and just interview tips in general. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the next video, and thank you so much for watching.